to Psalm 112. I loved doing this week's Psalm. I loved the verse. I say it every week. I know. But isn't that what scripture is? Every single week we get to fall in love with our Father all over again. Every single week we get to be enchanted by the conversations that we have with Him through scripture. So I guess that's what makes it so fun and exciting and engaging, that we always come back for more. We always want to come back in for more. So Psalm 112, there are some new products that I tried out this week. I Let me get through the technique first, and then we'll go into that. But I am using gouache for this week because it's my newest love affair. I'm in love with gouache right now. I love the vibrancy. I love the opacity of it. Oh, I just love it. So looking at Psalm 112, it's called the triumph of faith. So like right there, we could get stuck. The triumph of faith, that in faith, that is where we are triumphant. Like, it doesn't require us doing anything but believing. That's what triumph is. Just trusting in Him. So, and let me just say, that's a perfect segue for the printable this week. The printable is this cutesy little girl, and she's just got this knowing look and stars in her eyes as she looks up at her father. And the idea is, I'm okay. I trust in my God, because there is a triumph in faith. So that's the printable for this week. But then let's talk about this little doodle that I'm in love with. So let me read from the Passion Translation. Shout in celebration of praise to the Lord. Everyone who loves the Lord and delights in Him will cherish His words and be blessed beyond expectation. Their descendants will be prosperous and influential. Every generation of His godly lovers will experience His favor. Great blessings and wealth fills the house of the wise, for their integrity endures forever. So I feel like I could get lost in this psalm in the idea of material possessions making me happy. And those material possessions are what I'm pushing and straining into God for. That where it says every generation will experience His favor, blessings, and wealth fill the house of the wise. That if I were to press into God for material wealth and for stuff, I think that I personally have missed the greater message here, because get a load of this. In my Amplified Bible, which you know is my best friend Bible, it says the word, verse 3, 112:3, prosperity and welfare are in His house, and His righteousness endures forever. Get a load of this. That word there, prosperity, the word there is hone, and it means enough. Enough. Enough is His inheritance. That just settles my spirit and settles my heart. How great is it to always have enough? Like, to just be walking in a state of expectation, watching your Father and knowing that He is more than enough for us, that He will provide enough. So for me, that was a beautiful revelation this week, in that in this time of Advent, in this time of just all of the materialism, and all of the holiday can become completely about stuff, My gosh, let's face it, our entire world is about stuff. But that's not what I would say. I would offer to you, that's not what our inheritance is from the King. Our inheritance from the King is not more stuff. Our inheritance from the King is more of Him, an overflow of Him, so that we have a peace and a joy that surpasses all understanding, so that we know that whatever we're doing, wherever we're going, we have enough. We don't have to worry like the lilies of the field. We don't have to worry for like the birds. He will provide enough. So why a coffee cup, right? So for me, the overflow was this, that I get up very, very early every morning. I'm up at 2 a.m. every morning. I teach online, and morning comes very early. It's a very early morning. So I love the thought of coffee. I love the smell of coffee in the morning. I love the routine that I have in the morning. I am up before the birds are up. I am up before anybody in my house is up. And I settle into my morning routine of him, of coffee, of peace, of enough. My mornings are enough. And my enough every single morning is what allows me to operate out of my overflow, which is him. So I have my coffee cup and it's just overflowing. You'll see that eventually I'm going to get parts kind of spilling in and about it. Then I've got this little bit of that's a white gouache that I'm popping in there. But then I'm spilling up this, I'm not spilling, I'm putting up this aroma up to God that may my praises and may my contentment, my peace that I experience, may that become a praise to him. May I may I just meet him in thanksgiving for the enough that he's provided me with, for the peace of that enough, for the inhabitation of enough. Like what a thing to be grateful for because there's a peace in enough. There's a peace in not chasing after the newest bauble and the newest thing. Um, that race chasing after something seems to be more of an adrenaline high than actually getting it. Once you get it, you kind of got to start looking again for the next thing that might satisfy. So in enough, there's a contentment. Oh, it's just the best. I just think enough is a great place to inhabit. Enough is a great place to inhabit. So that's where I was in my coffee cup, and that it's overflowing in a blessing. That if of course my blessing is not coffee, but in that he meets me and he offers enough in the things that just satisfy my soul and satisfy a deep longing hunger within me. He knows those things. He meets us where we are and he offers enough. So and then it goes on to say in 6, their circumstances will never shake them and others will never forget their example. So again, for me, that's that inhabitation of enough, that um, circumstances can't shake you because he's providing. He's providing everything. He is your everything. He is the one who you're focused on. He is the one who your eyes are set upon. He is. So therefore, you don't have to be. The circumstances will never shake them, and others will never forget their example. They will not live in fear or dread of what may come, for their hearts are firm, ever secure in their faith. I love that. The triumph of faith. The triumph of faith. So that was what I walked away with in Psalm 112 for this week. So I want to go over a couple of products that I am using here. I don't know where I just went to. So here, I did work in a gouache this week. Here, you see how I have a lot of colors on my foam, I guess I would say that is. Like, when you get a latte, hello, Starbucks. Woo! When you get a latte and it comes with all that loveliness on top of it, well, ugh, hello, mine is overflowing. So, but you see here, I've got lots of splotches of color, and I want to kind of go in and make that be sort of just um, not so splotchy. Hold on. Oh, I'm back. I don't know why I forgot to speed that one up, but I sped it back up again. So here we go. So here what I'm doing is I need to pop back those the darks and the lights a little bit and make it look a little bit less in your face. So I am working on getting that foam just shaded, but shaded in a more realistic way. So building up the layers little bit by little bit. So look at, can you even stand it? I hope that this shows up well on your monitors because this is the brightest yellow pop you ever saw. So I just love it because get ready for it. Are you ready? Because when we operate in the inheritance of enough, when we operate in that triumph of faith, that He's got it, He's got us, He's got it, He's got the circumstances, He just has it all. Like a lily, I just get to be Lisa. And he's got it all. And that triumph of faith, when I can operate in that enough, it alters my atmosphere. Like it literally alters the atmosphere around me with his presence. Don't you love it? I do. I love it. I love what he does each and every week. How he meets us in a psalm and he gives the best messages. So, so you can see that when I paint, I haven't done any kind of narratives on my paintings in a while, but so when I paint, I am building it up layer by layer by layer by layer. So think about it in terms of you have to build up the shadows, you have to build up the dimension of it. Lay in your first colors and know that it doesn't have to be perfect, that you're going to still come in and you're still going to perfect and you're still going to do and you're still going to, put more on top of it. So it's always in a state of getting done, you know? So here I did use, okay, so I have to preface this with this page on my Bible had something popped into the margin. So I had to put white paint on it to get rid of it so that I could use the full page spread. This orange came out a little bit too, I was looking for a pop of orange, it kind of looks like sherbet to me almost. So I am going to pull that back a little bit and knock it back a little bit because I don't love the color. But here I can, because I have one, it's a water-based dye, and then two, because it's got that paint and that gesso on it, everything is kind of reactivatable, if that's a word. So here I am just bringing it back a little bit and claiming up some of that white again and popping back that sherbet color a bit. I'm still not in love with it. I'm still not in love with that border color. But again, I will continue to add on and I will continue to build up my layers and know that it's okay. Don't keep working it because then your paper will just weep. So I'm not happy with it right now, but I'll come back to it. And ultimately, I love how the page came out. So it works itself out. So I'm just popping in now some dimension on those little polka dots. And again, in my Bible, I hope it translates well because the way I'm reading it right now on the monitor, it looks kind of drab. But in my Bible, it is such a pop of yellow and orange. It is so fun. And it's like effervescent, when we carry the joy of the Lord. There is an effervescence. There is that where we have to tell others about the gift that we have, the gift that we know. What's different about you? Oh, well, it's Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with Lisa Albinus. Nothing to do with Lisa Albinus at all. It is all about my God. And gosh, I would love for you to meet him, So, okay, so it is gouache. I'm trying to think of the different things that I used this week. I want to talk to you about this pen. You'll see it in just a minute here. So the name of the pen that I have is called a Zig cartooning. I'll link it down below. Zig Cartoonist. So it's great for manga, and it says brush pen white, small brush. So it will pop in a beautiful white, without a doubt. So without a doubt. But I'm going to say that my review on it is still to be determined. One, it's a water-based pigment, and I feel like when I pop it, see here, I'm trying to put my white in, so that's why ultimately now I think even this, I tried an aquarelle white, nothing. My audio keeps going away, but nothing is working to get over that gouache and to get over that yellow. So here I am grabbing, this is it, the Super Brush Pen White. But here's the deal, is that, look, oh my gosh, right? That pops in a beautiful white. Water-based, which I'm not thrilled with. I feel like I would want it to be permanent. But then the thing is that you have to squeeze that barrel and then wait for here. It's all going well, but then I have to squeeze it right. Oh, I thought it was right there. Hold on, it's coming. So so right now I'm dipping in it right there. Do you see how you can't control how much is coming out? I squeezed it and I got a lot more white right there than I wanted. So now I've got to kind of deal with it and sort of get it in there and figure out what to do with all that extra paint. So for that reason, I don't know that I'm going to love it. It's a $9 pen, that's a lot for a little paint marker. So it's $9. And then also what I'm curious about is it says that you have to wipe it off and then put the top on squarely. Um, Boy, I would be upset if I used it once, it splitched all over a drawing, and then I can't use it again. So to be determined, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I think that those white out pens from Dollar Tree, I don't know. They could do the same thing a lot easier. So here I want to get in that aroma back up to the father. So I put in a little bit of a colored pencil, and then I'm getting that, the aroma in there. Big Crystal pen, outlining my foam, making it, just giving it that completed look. And I have to put my little ziggy zaggy lines in and my little equal signs. I don't know if that's what I would call them, but I love that like little look of those on my drawings. So that is really it. That's my whole psalm. I absolutely loved this week. I love the drawing. I love the visual. I love the inhabitation of enough. Because that word, like I keep saying that inhabitation of enough is a blessing, but that inhabitation of enough, that word actually is wealth. That is wealth. I don't know. I like, do you ever just get blown away by scripture? Just blown away by scripture. So that's all I've got, guys. I'm going to let it work its way out. I'll put the music on, and I will see you next week on Psalm 113. Bye, guys.